but stuff. All right. Welcome back to Roll Initiative, Claw and Order, Special Cryptids Unit. I'm your dungeon master and host for the conclusion of this evening's game of Clue, Brian. And I'm joined this week by.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I play Lawrence Aberline, the Dogman of Michigan. I'm going to keep my little fact pretty simple today. Lawrence's least favorite movie is Oh Heavenly Dog, the Chevy Chase movie where his best friend is murdered and reincarnated as a talking dog.
I've never seen that movie.
I didn't know that was a real movie.
Lawrence doesn't believe Chevy Chase has an acting career ahead of him.
Hi y'all. It's me. It's Eric. I'm playing your favorite normal human, Norman. Coming at you straight out of Normsville. Fun fact about Norman. Remember that one time you were in the food market and you were looking over at this other guy and he looked real confused about if he wanted the fish or the chicken that day? That was Norman.
No.
That friendly old lady. Norman.
I feel like you've done that one before.
Yeah, I know. I was getting deja vu as soon as I said the food market. I was like, I think I did the food market last time. Okay,
Jeez.
So this time.
You mean the whole thing was...
I think just the food market part. I think that it was a different person in the food market last time.
I think this is your thing now. Every
Norman's
time
just in the food market. Every time you're at the food market, look around. One of the people at that food market is probably Norman.
No, you just continuously tell the story from a different person's perspective at the food market. Norman.
This time you're the person picking between the chicken and the fish, and you notice someone with a shopping cart.
All right, come back to us next week with even a different perspective. It's like it's a Guy Ritchie movie where we're watching the same scene from 1,000 different angles.
Am I telling Norman's story from a second person perspective now? I believe so.
I can't be alone in thinking of the scene from Being John Malkovich. Norman.
You're at the Norman store, and all of a sudden, all of the Normans start Normaning.
All right, that's Norman. Let's move on to Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm playing Mikey. And a fun fact about Mikey is he's pretty good at bocce.
I love it. I love bocce.
You don't know what bocce is?
How do you know so many old things and you don't know bocce?
Yeah, it's like the one thing old people love to do when they sit outside of a deli or whatever the fuck they do. Bocce. No, it's balls. They're like the balls. There's a small ball. They're heavy, and you throw it in your lawn. It's a lawn game. And you have to try to get your ball as close as you can to it. And you can try to knock each other's balls away. It's essentially all those games where you try to throw something to get it closer.
It's horseshoe and the one where you slide things mixed together.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of horseshoes and shuffleboard together.
Yeah.
But everything's a ball.
But like you place the target. Like Mike said, there's a small little ball you throw to start out with, and then everybody throws towards that ball, and the closest ones to that ball get points.
I know what bocce is, guys. I was just doing that for the audience.
Ball and you just throw it as absolutely hard as you can, and just see how close everyone else can get it. Right?
That one's really tough because the actual balls you throw are considerably heavier than that small little ball. I've had somebody do that before on the beach, and you're just like you're trying to huck these heavy, larger, like. They're like the size of a grapefruit in your hand, so it's like not exactly like
wieldy.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to fully invest in strength, and you just go out there and one hand that grapefruit through the air.
Guys, I think we're gonna have to figure out some way to get Ryan up at the top of the order every time because he hits it with the fun fact, and everybody else does a fun fact, even though Norman's is the same fun fact. But like we get some fun facts.
I am a fun guy.
And I get to challenge my brain to see what it comes up with in that amount of time.
He's just copying Dungeons and Daddies and just saying it like
oh, really? Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Well, I did the rhymes, too. That was ripping off NatPod.
My point is,
I'm fine with it now.
I can tell I'm copying another podcaster's shtick voice.
It's tabletop time.
There's nothing new under the sun. What am I supposed to do? Something original?
When Ryan has utter confidence in what he's saying, he's copying from someone else.
All right, so last time on Die of Laughter.
Ryan, I mean, we're all AI now. You know, we're just digesting the things around us and then spitting it back out.
Every combination of words I ever say is wholly unique. Especially the fact that I copied my facts from last week. I can't even not copy myself. Let's continue.
Let's hit the let's hit that beautiful synth intro. Blow.
Initiative, join us on our quest. Roll initiative, you can deserve part of a long rest. Roll initiative.
And then we come out the other side of the beautiful synth intro.
That was great. I love the way it sounds.
God, that synth intro, guys, it hits hard. I feel like Mike is a musical genius.
I know. That guy on Fiverr that we paid.
It was all you, Mike.
Mike's the ideas man.
That song is Mike.
That song is the core of Mike. But let's recap what happened last week. So last week you guys were still within the game of Clue. You all decided to meet up. I didn't actually decide. You kind of like naturally, kind of like organically, all decided to head back to the lobby and regroup and go out and search from there. Lawrence, after having dodged an attack from a large plant life form in the greenhouse. Mikey, after having survived a scuffle with a coat rack, investigating the game room, was able to, with a meek investigation check, was able to pick up that there was still something off about the game room even after disposing of the coat rack, and that something smelled familiar to him, almost like home, his summer home to be exact, when Mikey would spend summers in hell, because you know all the tourists come into Jersey and he can't really hang out in Jersey. He got like the shoobies, so he goes to hell for summer, hangs out with Dad, but smelled like home. He went back to the lobby. You guys decided as a group that you were going to head back to the green house and get some answers. Do that. You decided, with that little bit of information from Mikey, that you were going to go back through the game room cautiously, because he had been attacked by an inanimate object become animate his first time through. You guys decided to leave the lobby. You had a long discussion as to whether you were going to inform any of the other guests/suspects about the fact that there was definitely a murderer amongst them and there was traps aplenty, it seemed, around. But you decided to not incite any kind of suspicion or hysteria and not really say anything to anyone, because they weren't really supposed to be leaving the room anyways. Back down into the game room you guys went. Once in the game room, you were able to use Lawrence's very keen sense of smell to smell out the smell of burnt gunpowder. One of the weapons in the room had been fired recently. Lawrence could tell that pretty quickly upon walking into the room. Was able to quickly track down to a pair of pistols in like a Wild West display with a bandolier. Found that one of the pistols had been fired recently, and upon an Arcana investigation, you guys were able to figure out that these pistols had at one point been touched by someone or in some way in contact with a demon of some variety, kind of the natural enemy to devils in hell. So not something that you were comfortable having Mikey carry around necessarily, because there could have been some kind of evil connotation or connection with it, but you were definitely able to figure out that there was some kind of existing curse on these pistols, a some kind of damage for damage curse. Winston was able to figure that out for you guys. You packed them up and threw them in one of your bags, not really putting hands on them. They're wrapped up, they're away. Evidence, you can say, has been revealed: white hair, white and gray hair in the hammer of the pistols, as if he was looking for fingerprints, but there was nothing really on there with the nature of things possibly being wiped off by furry hands. But you were able to find some fur, and that was stored for evidence. White and gray kind of points you in very few directions, or it really narrows down your options in terms of who possibly could have been firing this weapon. So you guys had collected a bunch of good evidence at that point, and you decided to make your way into the greenhouse. You get to the greenhouse and are able to pretty quickly pick up on the presence of the large animated flora that was within the room. Norman figured out pretty quickly in his ghillie suit and kind of like put himself against the wall. The contact and the pressure against the wall is kind of what the large plant creature was picking up on, and quickly came out to attack Norman. You guys, after a few rounds of attacks and spells, were able to finally whittle it down. Norman was engulfed at one point because he was on the wall, but he bared out and ripped his way out of the plant mound. Not very. I know the GIF posted was the guys shooting out of the bug in Men in Black.
I was trying to find the one where he's, it's like he purposely says "eat me" and then he comes bursting out. I think that's a different scene, but I couldn't find specifically that part. But I at least found people falling out of goo, and I was like, that gets the gist of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, this felt more akin to Thanos, with Ant-Man jumping into Thanos' butt and then going big. But yeah, you burst out. Being a large creature, it can no longer contain you within itself.
Like the Thanos.
Like the Thanos. And you guys were able to whittle it down all the way and dispatch the rest of the plant monster. And at the very end of the turn, at the very end of last week's session, with both Lawrence's keen sense of smell and Norman being a large polar bear with glasses and a keen sense of smell, pretty quickly found a large stained area of blood that had kind of dried up, and were pretty quickly able to determine that this was Sasquatch blood. And it looks like you guys have probably found your murder site as well.
So
And
we believe we have the weapon. We're pretty sure we found the spot it happened at. And we have a hair that points at, I believe, the 4 that I put squares around on the Roll20 page.
Do we just go approach the others and tell them to leave and leave those 4 here?
I don't know. I kind of like that idea you had at work today where you're like, hey, who wants to go shoot this gun? Just let off some steam. And I just pull a quick insight and see who reacts the most surprised to it.
I do like the idea of confronting everybody with the item and then seeing their reaction.
Should we do everyone separately so we don't miss their reaction to it? Like, go up to each person and just kind of show it to them privately?
Maybe you start with a question about something else, like, "Hey, did you ever seen the game room?" And then as they talk to us, pull it out and then see the reaction.
Hit them with the double confront, like mention the murder room, then show them the murder weapon, and then look at their reaction as we double stack confrontation. I love that. You can.
Well, you like you don't. It's not like it's like instead of just walking up to them and pulling the gun out, it seems like, oh, we're just gonna ask you a couple of questions, which we probably will be anyway, especially the people with the white. Let me see, gray, white, silvery hair.
Yeah, it's Mank, Yeti, Skunk Ape, and Hibbagang.
Hibbagang.
Yeah.
Hibbagang.
Hibbagang. All right. It seems like you guys kind of have an idea as to what you want to do. You are currently in the green room, the greenhouse, the site of the murder. You did just combat. Everybody's kind of stuck where they're at. Do you guys want to stay here, take any kind of rest before you go back in and question? Do you want to go back in and start doing your questioning now, not giving people any kind of time to like think or move? Do you want to start pressing them right away, or do you want to take some time and patch up yourselves?
I'm going to do something highly uncharacteristic, and I'm going to use a consumable. I know. Me using consumables. I'm going to slug back a greater healing potion and be like, oh, this is what consumable for consume. And I'm going to greater healing was that. So there's the 2d4 plus 2. So was this 44 plus 4?
Yes.
So that's 12 plus 4 is 16. Not bad at all. Takes me from 14 to 30. Also, I'm a druid, so 30 equals like 90 to 120. I have 2 wild shapes, so yeah, it equals about 90.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I don't need a rest. Arcane recovery would be nice, but I still have a level 3 spell slot. So
already, and so Mikey, you're good too. You don't want to rest.
Yeah, I don't think I need it. I did just drink 2 health potions a little bit ago too. Or no, we didn't we also?
No, I think you guys took a short rest. And in the lobby, last session before you left, and I think you used hit dice.
Yeah,
I think Lawrence did too at that point.
Yep.
I believe I'm the only one who got mangled by that thing.
Right.
It's okay, guys. I'm tanking.
That's what you're here for, Norman.
I'm here for a lot of things.
Emotional support.
Like that time, like how I confided in you guys last session about everything that I've been dealing with. I'm really glad you guys listened.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you never did that.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Flashback to the last episode when you guys were having a mental conversation in your minds, and Norman confided in you guys.
But yeah, it sounds like we all just want to go to the lobby.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not gonna let that go. I still love that moment. I just Norman now thinks you guys know everything.
All right, so you guys are able to just head on back to the lobby, through the game room, back up to the lobby. You've been through the game room. There's nothing left here for traps.
Before we go back inside, I'm going to change back into wolf form.
Are you wolfing back out?
That's right.
Right,
so I've decided when I want to transform into a werewolf or a human, it's fast. But when I'm trying to resist it, like on a full moon or something, it's one of those painful, drawn-out ones.
I dig it. All right, so is it like a real swift, almost like you're kind of like walking and then like the camera is following you and goes behind a pillar?
Yeah, exactly.
Party of form, just like that was that quick.
Yes, I was gonna say that the pillar thing.
Excellent. Gotta love a good pan shot with a pillar. So you guys head back towards the back into the lobby with now wolfed out Lawrence again. Norman, are you still a polar bear with glasses? Are you
So
back to a human who's masquerading as a Sasquatch?
currently, I'm a polar bear with 2 hit points.
Would you like to stay that polar bear so that
No.
when that polar bear? All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back and turn into my fake Sasquatch form so as to not alert anyone and not change the scent they're used to.
In my mind, I kind of had a mental image of a werewolf, a Jersey Devil, and one of the Coca-Cola polar bears from from the Christmas commercials, kind of like walking upright through the door. But
Don't worry, when combat starts, it will be that again.
This is better this way. If you at some point become a polar bear and can kill someone with a Coca-Cola,
that sounds like inspiration if I can find one.
Yep.
I'll be searching vigorously for a bottle of Coke to bludgeon someone with.
You are in a lobby with a little mini bar area, so there might be at least a can of Coke.
Is there? No, I need a sponsored bottle of Coke where the logo is always facing the perspective of the audience.
A sponsored glass bottle of Coke.
Yeah, with a permanent rotating label that's always perfectly facing the perspective.
All right. So as you guys enter the lobby for the last time, give me a perception check upon entering a room.
Perception.
I have been doing poorly this whole time, and if we want to use a gambler's logic, then that means I'm bound to have a good roll right now because I've been doing so badly.
Nat 20, drop it on us.
Perception. Let's check my perception.
Oh, it's not bad, but
what is it?
You got a 16.
Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. Gambler's logic kind of worked. No, it didn't.
It's not awful.
For a +0, 16 is pretty good.
I was getting 3s earlier, so I'll take it.
Exactly.
I got a 3.
It was getting tough. Part of the reason this took a little while is because you guys were rolling so poorly upon entry to rooms. It's like, what do I give them? I found a cool area of my voice. No. Norman with a 19, just a little bit better than Mikey's 16, but not naturally. With your 19 perception, you look around the room. As you're scanning the room, you are doing kind of a head count. You were the one who spent the most time in here. You notice that as you're scanning across the sea of squatches, and you're like, all right, he's here, he's still here, over there. You notice that Jacques, the skunk ape, is currently not in the room.
I'm going to go up to Yeti and ask him if he knows where he is.
It's not the weirdest thing that he's not in the room because he is the liaison and he was the one that brought you the information from the coroner. So he has been the only one who's been kind of given a little bit of ability to walk in and out of the room.
Don't tell me not to feel alarmed.
But you don't see the skunk ape. As you look around, you're looking around the room, you're scanning around for Yeti. You see Yeti is kind of over by himself, standing behind the bar that's in the lobby, and he's just kind of swirling a glass with some ice in it and what looks like a little bit of brown liquor of some variety, just kind of staring at it and swirling it, almost hasn't even looked up at you guys since you've entered the room.
I gotta walk up to him.
All right.
I'm gonna walk up to him, and I'm just gonna kind of shuffle next to him, and just watch him stir the drink for just a couple seconds, and just be like, "Hey."
He just is still kind of staring into his drink. The first time you say hey, he's kind of a little bit quiet. Doesn't really knock him out of his trance almost. But I'm assuming you say it a little bit louder with a little bit of a nudge almost.
Yeah, just not an aggressive nudge, just a hey.
Yep. He kind of startles and almost like drops his drink, and then like steadies himself and looks over. Oh, it is you again.
Yeah. Everything all right over here?
Yes, sorry, I was lost in train of thought. Um, have you figured out what's going on around here yet?
I think so. I just had to double check something with Jacques. Do you happen to know where he went off to?
He was in office maybe, and it was office, and then yes, in the hallway. He goes out to the hallway every so. Now I'm losing it. He goes out to the hallway every so often, and there's payphone in hallway, and he can make calls from there.
Look, Yeti, I can see you're clearly becoming Hispanic. I'm gonna let you go and go to look for Jacques.
Who is he talking about? Going out into the hall.
Jacques, the skunk ape. I'm gonna go look for him.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to Yeti a little bit.
All right. Let's stay here with Yeti. Let me see if I can pull myself out of Hispanic Yeti real quick. Russia. Soviet Russia bears fuck you. All right, we're good.
Vodka. But I was gonna be like, hey, Mr. Yeti, big fan.
Thank you very much.
I just I wanted to ask you, like you're really famous, like in the world at the moment. Do you and does it ever bother you when people like make claims that they saw you or that you did something that you didn't do?
When I was younger, it did bother me. But as I grow older, I found myself craving the attention.
Mm.
It was never a competition between me and Big E, but at a certain point, it was who could get the most sightings in a year. It's like
I know what you're talking about. I still get some joy out of running around and making people see shadows. And the Jersey Devil is real, which I am, but not the way they think.
But that son of a bitch, he beat me every year. Every year he would beat me, and I could not keep up with him. I would try showing myself to a large group of mountain climbers, and then he would get caught on trail cam. It is there's no trail cams. We don't live in a world with trail cam. He would get caught on video by like vacationers camping in mountains. It goes crazy big. Everyone sees it, and my story gets covered up. It was always the more popular one, but it was good competition, I guess.
Yeah, but I guess I'm thinking more like, so, I may or may not have eaten a cat or two when I was younger, who hasn't? But now it's like every cat that gets missing in Jersey, they think it's me. And I haven't done that in decades.
Oh, I totally get you. I have maybe in the very cold winters, maybe had to eat a hiker or Sherpa.
Oh shit!
And whenever they go missing, it's immediately I ate all the hikers.
I thought, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe at a higher level, I did feel bad about mine, but now not so much. Yeah.
He puts his glass down heavy.
Oh shit!
And then reaches under the bar and pulls out a bottle and undoes the he like just kind of like flicks the cap and it like spins off and falls off, and then he like pours the drink back to like 3/4 of the way full and takes a long drag of the drink, and then just kind of like sets it back down heavily again and looks at you, or kind of looks past you almost into the distance, and those were the good old days.
Oh shit. This guy's intense. But yeah, anyway, I should probably get back with my friends. Make sure they're
all right.
Oh, I'm still there. I'm actually eyeing this bottle of liquor.
All right, while you guys
I'm so surprised.
while you guys are doing the predictable Lawrence thing, Norman has walked out, opened the door to the hallway, and give me another perception check for the hallway just to see if you
17.
17. Excellent. So you look down the one way, the hallway. It just is kind of getting like there's a few windows. It is evening time here. You guys spent most of your day investigating. It's kind of like darkening down the one side of the hallway. Nothing seems to be going on down that way. It's pretty dead. It just kind of gets darker as it goes further down. You look the other way up the hallway and you see where the little booth kind of like on the wall is for the payphone. And you walk down and you see the payphone is there. There's no one in the booth. It's not like one of those glass booths, but it has like partitions kind of, so you're not like right in on. It has a little bit of privacy for you to have like your phone call. But you turn like the corner and look into the booth, and there is no one there, but the kind of like the phone part is just hanging off. It's not back up on the receiver, so you just kind of hear like just that kind of like blank, like very dull, like in the distance noise of the dial tone.
So it almost seems like someone was trying to use the phone and maybe got yanked away from it.
Or they just ran away because they heard you coming.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. All right, fuck this shit. I'm gonna turn into a fucking dire wolf and start sniffing.
You are using one of your last two wild shapes. You're turning into a dire wolf. Give me perception or an investigation check, either of them at advantage, whichever one you want.
Not 20 for a 28, and the other one was a 27 if I had disadvantage.
Holy shit.
All right. You get it all, big guy. You turn into the dire wolf and like you take like this giant sniff, and I feel like the camera like pans around to the front of you and like shrinks down and becomes like the size of a molecule and goes in the dire wolf nose. And we're like the magic school busing our way into your nostril. And
all right, Miss Frizzle, take me there.
And then it blasts back out, and like your eyes kind of like glow this like arcane green, and you get this like full like radar pulse around you, and you can essentially like it feels like you can like see through walls. Like this is how well you're perceiving everything with your sense of smell that your brain.
Daredevil with my nose.
Yes.
You just daredeviled with your nose.
But beyond that, well, yes, because it's smell, you can see through walls. So you're better than fucking Daredevil. He can only see.
Hey, Daredevil's awesome.
You can see through the walls. He can't do that.
All right, I'm the Farsight from Perfect Dark then.
Yes, or you're any of those radar unlocks in a game where you like see thermally through people, like through the walls. But anyways, you like immediately like you already knew where everybody was in the other room when you walked in, but you can like now sense them again. You also smell like everyone's like a primal creature. So there's like a smell that they give off when there's like an aggression or an adrenaline release, kind of.
Yeah.
So you smell that coming from the phone booth that you're in, and you smell it. Like it almost takes like a we're just gonna keep doing analogies like The Witcher 3 when you can smell, we can see like the scent trail. This is like throwing back to I think like episode like 2 or 3 when you like smelled when you rolled another nat 20 on top of the range and you like smelled out where the chupacabra was. You see the scent trail of the skunk ape. This dude has a very distinct odor. They don't call him the skunk ape for nothing. He's got a sweaty, BOE, wet fur, whole thing. He lives in the Everglades. It's a whole thing. It's his scent. You can like see the trail as it like looks like it just kind of like flies down the hallway into the darkness of the one side you'd already looked down. You smell like the adrenaline, the fear almost, and the aggression kind of in that scent trail mixed with his scent. And then also as you're starting to like follow that, you're walking past the door into the lobby and you smell that aggression, that adrenaline, that like adrenal release of it's like the same scent that's mixed in with skunk ape scent, but you smell it in the lobby as you're going to walk past the lobby.
Can I tell where from?
It's over in the corner by both Mikey and Norman and Yeti.
Lawrence.
All right, sorry, Lawrence. Yeah, he's a wolf now. I apologize. There's
Fuck.
2 wolves.
Fuck. I can't talk. I poke my head in and look over at Mikey, who I know can communicate psychically, and I just give him sad puppy dog eyes and like kind of just go like,
I activate like Lone Star in Dino Riders. What is it?
I believe Yeti's compromised. I'm going after Skunk Ape. And I just start booking it after the other part of the scent trail.
You think Yeti's compromised? Okay. I wasn't picking up on that, but I will go along with that. Should I? Well, if you can still hear me, should I stick with Yeti to make sure he doesn't go anywhere?
Yeah, make sure he doesn't go anywhere. I'm going after Skunk Ape.
All right, you do that.
All right. Real quick, I am going to roll something for Yeti.
Oh no.
Just gonna roll a quick. All right, Yeti rolled a nat 1 on his perception check. He did not notice you poking your head in as a direwolf into the lobby to make eye contact with Mikey. He's just still kind of like sitting there swirling his drink, kind of reminiscing about eating Sherpas and hikers, and just like the good old days.
I'm just talking to him, and I just see behind him over his shoulder the snout of a wolf just poke into the room, and then just leave.
There's a pair of glasses on them.
Just in and out. Doesn't do anything.
Just sad puppy dog eyes. Just like, oh.
Lawrence, is there anything both these other guys have done stuff? Is there anything you want to do aside from just trying to get a drink out of the bottle that Yeti's drinking out of?
What Lawrence is gonna do is pour a shot. He's gonna pour a shot and then drink out of the bottle instead.
I'm gonna put a mental. Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you real quick in your head.
Real quick, are you using the bottle that Yeti was drinking out of, or are you just grabbing a different bottle?
I was going to drink out of his bottle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me a sleight of hand, real quick.
I'm not trying to make it like sneaky or anything.
You're trying to pull it out of his hand.
That's a 10. He poured a drink. He poured a drink, and I assumed he placed the bottle back down.
He did. His hand is kind of like he's got like that like prisoner vibe where like his like hands are kind of around his food / his bottle. But you reach over and take the bottle. He reaches over as you're going to reach for his bottle, and just like holds the base of it as you try to take it, and just like looks over you with dead eyes, and he goes, "Get your own."
I mean, it's all free, right?
Yes, but this is mine.
All right, fine. Wow, I'm getting real hostile vibes from you.
I mean, hey, maybe I should check on Norman to see if he's all right. Unless you think you need to check on me to see if I'm all right. Or I guess I'll say this in your head, like, hey,
you can now do your in the head thing.
He might need backup, or I might need backup. It's your decision, though.
I guess I'll just take offense to Yeti keeping his bottle and just be like, well, fine, I'm gonna leave then. And then in my head, which way did Norman go?
That way, right over there.
I go that way.
Yeah, I've already built up a rapport with Yeti. I'm just gonna kind of hang out with him because he's not gonna think I'm watching him. He's just gonna think I'm
smart.
Your
rapport with Yeti is he's staring past you into the distance, just kind of muttering to himself with a drink in his hand and his other hand wrapped firmly around the bottle that he was drinking from.
He doesn't mind Mikey's presence because Mikey's not
No.
bothering him.
Yes. Yep. So Lawrence, you kind of like slip one out and turn down the hallway. You, with your scent of smell, quickly pick up the scent of Norman as a wolf. You have seen him as a wolf a few times. You've kind of stored that scent as something to keep track of. So you're able to like follow his way down the hall. Let's get either whatever you guys would like to do. You can do perception. You can do a nature check because you're kind of like tracking at this point, or a survival check really because you're kind of tracking.
I've been rolling all perception, so here's a 25 survival. It's the exact same modifier either way for me. Woo!
If I could do nature, I don't have to. Much better at nature than survival or perception.
Go for nature.
It's 14.
All right, so Norman's 25. You are running down the hallway. You're a werewolf, kind of like getting into like your almost like four-legged run as you're picking up speed. You catch up to Norman. He is still tracking the scent line, and Norman's like the scent line is taking you guys around the kind of the perimeter of the building, like where the rooms are. Down this hallway, it almost seems like yes.
Can I understand Norman in wolf form?
I mean, let's say yes. I feel like as a werewolf, you're part wolf. You would be able to like understand like the snarls and there's not like a lupine language, but
Can I say I would rather you not fully be able to understand me, so I can try to narrate things by being like I point my snout and go
Yeah, I feel like it's a very like remedial sense of understanding. I don't think dogs actually talk to each other. I think it's like very general like noises and stuff like that. So I feel like if Norman like if you want to be like in this door and like point at something, like he should be able to understand that and vice versa, back and forth to you.
That's good. That's good enough.
I can understand you just fine. I can point at stuff with my stout and then like lift one leg up and then look back at you and then look at the thing.
He's all right. He's Lassie. he's Direwolf Lassie.
All right, lead the way, boy.
He's a very good boy. All right, so this is kind of leading you guys out around the perimeter. If you think about the hotel resort as a bunch of rooms kind of all the way around the central area you've been located in, so nobody's very far from any of like the amenities essentially. This is going down and around, it seems like just out of the way and further away from the central area from where you were from the lobby of where you guys were at. This goes down to the corner. It makes a right. It goes down another long line of rooms. The scent is starting to slowly fade as you're going. And which like is kind of weird. 25 survival. It wouldn't fade unless you were getting further away from it. You're very clearly tracking towards it. Signs where it was getting stronger for a while, and then as you've kind of been like getting further and further away from the lobby, even though you're still tracking the scent of the smell, it just feels like it's getting kind of slightly lighter and lighter.
I'd like to use my eyes to look around. I'm going to make a guess as someone who knows Pass Without Trace. I'm gonna start relying on my nose less and start using my eyes and trying to like look for spots that someone might run to.
All right, give me an investigation check.
Lawrence, you're here. Maybe you should do this.
I'm starting to think back to.
That's a 7.
I'm thinking back to hunters that use their, they use the like deer urine and stuff to cover up their scent when they're hunting. Can I roll?
Yeah.
Okay. That's 14.
All right. With a 14, the 7 does nothing for you in your investigation, Norman. You understand that like Pass Without Trace is an option, is a thing. So you're like, all right, I've seen magical ways of like being able to obscure one's presence. And Lawrence, with your 14 investigation, as you're kind of looking for your regular tracking ways of your trail, your like wiping up footprints or using urine, like you said, to cover one's scent. You kind of like are looking around. You're not seeing any signs of that, but you're also noticing that you're not seeing a lot of signs of anything. It like it feels like even like the walls themselves are tough to perceive. You if you guys want to give me Arcana checks, you're kind of feeling like this is unnatural. Norman, you were kind of like already down that path, thinking about Pass Without Trace. Lawrence, you kind of landed on it by you're looking around for a more natural solution to the cover up, and then kind of like feeling that like with your natural tune into the Arcana as a wizard, that like it just feels off in this area. You guys with a 15 and a 13, you can't quite put your finger on it, but there definitely feels like there's some kind of magic obscuring the trail here. And it does feel similar to like the magic you've been feeling in this entire place this whole time. The kind of like the same kind of almost like dark arcana that was animating the plants, and you guys weren't there for the coat rack, but the same kind of like just off vibe you got from the guns that you found. Not to the same like cursed degree, but you still get this kind of like bad taste in your mouth with the magic you feel around here. And as you're kind of like running down this hallway, I'd imagine kind of like slowing more to a trot as you're kind of noticing the conditions around you. It just feels bad here.
It doesn't feel right. We should
And
be
like,
right on top of them.
And the scent trail's kind of petered out to nothing here.
I'm going to kind of brush, like push against Lawrence with my snout and turn around and point back, and then look at him and look back to where we just came from and look at him and kind of like attempt to flap my paws as if they were wings.
I love how I can tell he did that in real life because his voice changed as he moved his head.
Are you saying use a spell to try to locate him?
I'm going to bark. New Jersey, bark.
Oh, is that
Jersey accent? Bark. An attempt to flap my paws like wings and then point back where we came from.
I don't understand what you're saying. Are you saying he flew?
We cut from you guys back over to Mikey, kind of sitting at the bar, like just like watching Yeti just kind of like swirl his cup and take a sip every so often. Mike, give me either a perception check or an investigation, whichever one you feel better with.
Investigation. That's a 21, and I also want to grab a drink as I'm doing.
All right,
just
you're gonna grab your own bottle, correct?
Yeah, I'm not gonna sip it though yet. I'm just gonna pour it.
All right, so you like reach over the bar and like just like reach back into like the well of drinks and grab yourself out just whatever bottle you could first grab. And you just pour yourself like a tall glass. Set the bottle to the side. And with your 21 investigation while you're doing that, and you reach over, as you're reaching over the bar and you look behind it, there are 4 or 5 empty bottles just at Yeti's feet. Look to be similar to the brand that he is already drinking, with like a little bit of like dark liquor inside them. But yeah, he just is like standing in like a pile of bottles at his feet as he's like killing another one. And as you kind of like come back over the bar, you see the glass in his hand has like pinpoint cracks kind of going up the glass. Like he's almost squeezing it so hard that it's compromising the glass. And you also notice that like his ice has not melted at all, and the bottom of his glass looks frosty in his hand. So it's like frosty frozen at the bottom, and there's like stress cracks running up the glass in his hand. And further, like you notice he's stopped mumbling at this point, and he's like just staring off into the distance, kind of like into the corner of the room. His head, while you've been watching him, has just kind of been like slowly moving from one side of the room, like staring through everything all the way around the room till it like stopped in the other corner, almost like he's like just staring at something else. And he's stopped muttering, and he's just kind of like grinding his teeth in between sips of his drink.
Okay. Shit. I hope this isn't what I think I'm hearing. I'm gonna pretend to sip it, but I'm not actually gonna sip it. Hey, your friend the Mank. He's from like Russia too, isn't he? Like that area, the Eastern Europe or something.
Yes, the Mink is from good blood. He is also a mountain dweller like myself, and is known as well for his ruthlessness.
You ever, since you guys are in the same region, you ever see each other around? You guys good friends or something?
Friends is not exact term I would use, but he does not, like me, enjoy the spotlight. He enjoys to do his dirty work in the quiet. He doesn't want a bunch of villagers coming after him whenever a little kid or a old person from the village goes missing.
I totally understand that. I'm the same way. Every time a kid in New Jersey goes out with his friends to drink beer in the Pine Barrens and they see an owl, it's always an owl, and they go, "Oh, Jersey Devil, oh, I can't take it." And then all of a sudden more news and yeah. What about Skunk Ape? Yeah, you friends with him?
Yeah, I do not like the Skunk Ape. He is the youth, the young Sasquatches. I do not like. They want to bring on change and like new ideas. Skunk Ape, much like Bigfoot, wants to put us in the front and center, get us into like movies or some shit like that. Just want enough hikers coming to visit my mountain that I do not go hungry in the tired seasons and in the cold times.
I mean, to be honest, I had another question about somebody else. Well, actually,
Ask away. I am angry open book.
I didn't really get to talk to the Yeren very much. What's he like? I mean, he's no. I'm sure he's no Bigfoot, but he seems all right.
He is just another of these newer age squatches. It does not want to be seen at all, would rather be totally left alone. He's always on retreats. he always is talking of meditation, finding his inner self.
Oh God. All right. Yeah, I guess I didn't. I'm glad I didn't talk to him then. That would make me puke.
So we're just gonna accuse Yaren. Call it
a day.
Goddamn hippies.
Goddamn fucking hippies. I mean, I guess while I'm asking about like all these guys, are they all in the room right now?
Yeah,
like all the other Yetis. Yeah.
Everybody except for Skunk Ape, Norman, and Lawrence are all in the room.
I'm gonna just point over at Hibagon. How do you say his name? Hibagon? Is it with a G?
Hibagon.
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 Hibagon. Oh,
Hibagon.
I sorry, my accent.
Trust me, I understand. Accent is tough for me as well. Hibagon.
Hibagon.
Here we go.
What's his deal? He's kind of colored like you, with the whitish fur. Is he just ripping you off all the time?
I mean, you cannot really pick your hair color, I imagine, unless you do like the Just for Men's. But they do not make Just for Squatches.
Dr.
Hibagon, Dr. Squatch is still. Hibagon is a quiet loner, stays to himself. Also a mountain dweller like myself. I have tried to engage with him before, but not much of a talker, the Hibagon.
You seem like a pretty together kind of guy. You seem like you got yourself well grounded.
You seem like a poor judge of character.
Hey, I don't know. Hey, I've actually seen real demons, so I think you're at least not one of them.
Oh, so you have also seen demons. And he turns and looks at you, and you watch as one of his eyes just kind of lights up blue, almost kind of like your red eye.
Oh, shit.
It just kind of goes full blue. And he just like starts to madly laugh as he like drops his bottle, like knocks his bottle off and knocks his glass to the ground, and his glass like kind of like breaks in like apart, like almost like it's part ice. And we're gonna go back to Lawrence and
No, we're not.
And Norman really quickly. And you guys are at the other end of the. You guys are pretty far away in the hallway. It seems Norman was trying to indicate to you that you would like to get back to Mikey pretty quickly.
And you're pretending not to get it. That's what I want to do.
I'm sit down cross-legged, like, okay, so you want to go over here, this room?
No, as soon as I realized what you were doing, if he didn't cut it back, I was just gonna leave you there and just go back.
All right.
No, you do the pointing thing like dogs do. You point in the direction.
I did that
with the
first.
with the one leg up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have
All
the
right,
flappy arms.
I'd like both of you guys to roll me athletics checks with advantage. You guys are both fast wolf-like creatures.
Can I roll my wolf
gosh.
stats?
Oh yeah, wolf stats, right?
I want to see something over a 17 here to see if you guys are gonna get back in time.
Ooh.
No.
No.
I did say with advantage.
Okay,
in that case, I got in that 20.
Yeah, I
Norman,
got 16.
all right, 16 is very close. We're gonna say Norman with your nat 20. You are, as soon as you realize that Lawrence was fucking around and not being immediately helpful, you just kind of like turned, growled at him, and just booked it. And with that, Lawrence is able to he's like, fuck, all right, gotta get going. Takes off behind you, is able to kind of like get in your draft a little bit. And you guys are booking it back. As you guys are turning the corner, Norman, you're going to get in the room first. And Lawrence, you're kind of like rounding the corner right behind him. As with your nat 20, as you round the corner and you kind of like almost fast and furious as a wolf, kind of Tokyo drift into the room. Like when you see a dog running and they try to throw the brakes on hardwoods. But you do it with style and grace, Buzz Lightyear flying. And you come around the corner and like dart into the room, like hit like your burst nos into the room. You are right in the middle of the room as the Yeti is like laughing and cackling maniacally, and you see his eyes start to glow blue. Lawrence, you round the corner and like jump into the room as you're feeling this force of air push out, and you guys watch as all of the other Yetis in the room get like pushed all the way back to the walls and the corners. Norman, you've kind of like jumped right in the middle of the room. Mikey, you are right next to Yeti, and Lawrence, you are getting pushed towards the outside as the Yeti kind of like notice he like pulls from behind the bar this large like shoulder strap full of vials of liquid and straps it onto himself, and then takes the first vial off the top, and it's got this like lightish blue, almost white glowing liquid in it as he takes it and smashes it on the bar in front of him. And you feel like this cold burst of energy as all of the Sasquatches are pushed to the very edges of the room, and then this ice wall kind of like
I was gonna say, does the boss wall close around us so the other Yetis can't help us?
Yes, it does. The boss wall closes around you guys as the other Yetis are pushed to the edge, and you listen as this just frozen wall slowly erects itself all the way around you guys, sealing up to the roof, and it's just you three in a frozen room with a Yeti.
I thought somebody was crinkling paper.
Yeah, at first I did too. Hey guys, I made sure he didn't go anywhere. I was about to get to the part where I talked about the gun to see his reaction, but it didn't seem necessary anymore.
Ice walls have formed all the way up to the ceiling, sealing you guys into a domed cave of ice in the lobby. It almost feels like you guys are kind of in like a different world. In like not like he like transported you, but like the floor's covered in icy rock now. The walls are all ice. The ceiling is an icy dome. Up top, as you look up, there's stalactites or stalagmites, whichever the ones are that hang from the ceiling, of ice and rock that have like from ice melting and coming down to a drip and then refreezing. You've got large spikes of ice on top of the ceiling. You've got some smaller spikes of ice down on the floor, some kind of like icy crystalline deposits that look very sharp and unpleasant if you were to be knocked into them, scattered about, and you guys kind of just stare across this big open circular room, of like by the edge. You got real close to getting frozen into the wall as it came up because you were the last one in, but you were able to kind of like scoot your way up. And as the Yeti is kind of having his like power freak out, Mikey and Norman are able to kind of like back up. So you guys are all kind of like back together again, facing off very anime style across the way from the Yeti. You guys see that Yeti is looking a little bit bigger now. One glowing blue eye, very eerily, distinctly similar to Mikey's one solid red eye, although this is like glowing blue, and almost you can see like kind of like veins or cracks of the same glowing blue kind of running away from his eye and down his face and into his neck. Me Arcana checks real quick.
Oh boy.
6.
19.
Where I should have positioned
19s. You guys can see he is almost overflowing with an unnatural power. Mikey, you feel a very strong demonic presence with this. Feel like he's possessed, but this is definitely borrowed power of some variety. It all like with what you've seen, this does have like the trappings of your dad's layer of hell. The cold, the ice. He is by nature a cold weather creature, totally out of the realm of possibility that he could have made a deal with some kind of demon from your plane, your dad's plane of hell, from the ice already. It would have been more natural for it to go down that way. So you could see that being a possibility. Definitely see him overflowing with an unnatural power, a power that's not his, obviously, as he is using these vials of like some kind of magic. It seems to be distributing them. He does look bulkier than he did when you first showed up. It's almost like he's kind of swolled up and gotten bigger as he's tapped into this power inside of him. His muscles seem like they're almost like rippling and kind of like he's almost like gotten, you'd say like damn near twice the size of what he was, and he was already big to begin with. And as he is growing, he looks down at you guys. He was already looking down at most of you guys, except for maybe Mikey, because Mikey's pretty big. But he's a full-size Sasquatch, and you guys were, either miniature squatches, regular-sized werewolves, or now a dire wolf. He looks down at you guys and just reaches for another vial, and with disgust kind of like spits down to the ground. And he says, "You will never be able to control us. No matter what Bigfoot's plans were, they end here. It all ends here." And he smashes another vial, and you guys feel like the floor start to shake and the ice kind of shimmer across it. And if everyone could give me a dex saving throw.
Oh boy. I got 19 again.
Hey, look at you. You're Captain 19 right now.
Not one, baby. Woo! Yeah, baby.
Dex 9.
All right, it's not the worst thing in the world. You guys notice the ice kind of like shimmer and almost kind of go liquidy underneath of your feet, and then it reforms quickly, coldly. There's like a shot of like cold mist across the floor, and your feet are like locked in place. So your like little wolf paws on your feet are locked down, and Mikey, your hooves are kind of like frozen in place on the floor. You guys are restrained at the moment. At the beginning of your turn, you can roll. It's a 13 strength saving throw to break yourselves out of it. It does your movement to break out, but your current movement 0 anyways. You can't go anywhere as a restrained person. So if you manage to break out, you still have 15 feet of movement. Break out, you're just going to have to figure out what you can do from that spot. It's not that you can't attack, you just can't move. So with that, that was his minor layer action. And Norman, you get to start first as the wolf du jour, the wolf of the day.
So how trapped are my feetsies?
Your feetsies are mildly trapped. They would require a DC 13 strength saving throw.
What if someone were to keep the same limb configuration but just shrink the size of their body down? Could they theoretically just slip out?
Give me an Arcana check. This would be a very good one.
16.
A 16. You feel like that, like you're like you have like you're a druid-esque person. You have a very natural feel for the world. You don't feel like this ice is going to allow you to do that. You can't. It feels unnatural, magical. That like it would. You can't tell if it would change its shape with you, but it seems like it would not be an option.
All right. Plan C. I'm gonna turn back into. I'm gonna turn into real Norman, and I'm gonna be a crazy, horrifying white, pale skinned thing with a Rorschach face. Because obviously, I told these guys about this so they wouldn't be alarmed.
Oh God! What the hell is that?
Oh.
Did you tell them about it when they weren't listening? Oh no.
They got Norman. He's changing too.
God damn it, Yeti! What did you do to him?
What did you do to Norman?
Guys, we literally talked about this. Remember, I was like, "Thank you guys so much for listening to me," and then I showed you my true face.
That
and I was
never
Change
happened.
him back.
That never happened. Yeti, change him.
Change him back, you bastard.
Okay, I turned into the fake Norman. Guys?
Oh, Norman, you're back.
Okay. So I'm gonna use my action to cast Flame Blade, and I'm gonna swing it at my restraints.
They inanimate as you swing at your restraints. So as opposed to doing the as opposed to just doing the strength check and losing possibly half your movement, you have made a 23. Yeah, 23 hits the ice chains. Yeah, 9. You break free.
I want to break free.
Can you do me a favor then? Just give me a strength save just to see what would have happened.
I'll allow it. I would have rolled a nat 20. How about that?
Yeah, you would have just broken free of the restraints and still had your attack. That's fine.
All right, I would have
so
been able to reach it with half my movement. So you know what I mean?
True enough. I guess you could have magic stoned it, maybe.
Yeah, I could have done some shenooty like that, but now I have a fire sword.
You do have a fire sword now. I assume your bonus action was transforming back. Your action was attacking your feet.
Free action was turn back. Bonus action was summoning the thing.
Oh, cool.
Action
Gotcha.
was attacking the thing. Now I have movement, full movement, because I slashed my restraints.
Indeed.
All right, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right, I'm here. Fire sword in hand. I yield the remainder of my time.
Yes.
Brought it back.
All right, Mikey. That brings us to you. You are also your hoofsies are restrained, so you cannot quite fly away. And a DC 13 strength saving throw at the beginning of your turn will free you from the ice.
-1 strength. Let's do it. 8.
Nope, an 8. All right, so you can't go anywhere. You're still stuck. Ranged attacks. You can still attack from here if you'd like. Cast spells.
Let's see. There was one in mind. How far away is he to me?
Across the room, you're talking like 40 feet, 45 feet. Time. You have to watch out for area of effect stuff now because Norman's right up on him.
Oh, you don't gotta worry about me. I don't care.
No, I'm sure it'll hurt. He'll feel this. I'm gonna hit him with the fucking firebolt because that's 120 feet. So fuck you, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna take out my pendant. Just for the record, I didn't think you did it up until right when you did the eye glowy thing. I'm gonna fire 3. It's at 24.
Yeah, 24 hits a lot.
14.
Nice.
14's big damage, big guy.
It's a good roll.
That is your action. You used. You can't move at all because you haven't been able to break free yet. This action. Is there any kind of bonus actions you'd like to cast, or
No.
artichoke? You yield your time.
Mm-hmm.
So, Norman, you're right up on the Yeti, correct?
From what I see, I stepped up next to where Mikey was standing, which was about 15 feet away from being standing next to the Yeti. I'm about 20 feet out.
All right, cool, excellent. So the Yeti is going to kind of like hold his ground. He's got like his feet from his spell casting kind of like locked into the ground. But he does reach down, and next to him there is like a big chunk of that like ice mineral kind of deposit, and he picks that up and just chucks the first one all the way back at Lawrence.
Wow, I haven't done anything to him.
That's upsetting, right?
Technically, I haven't yet either. I'm just standing there with a fire sword looking menacingly.
With an 11.
11's going to miss.
That's going to miss.
His name's Yeet.
Lawrence. Yeah, so he yeets he picks that big chunk of ice up and just yeets it across the room, and Lawrence just kind of slips out of the way and it shatters harmlessly against the back wall. After doing that, he kind of angrily like looks at like where he threw it, and then just kind of goes for a change of pace and decides to turn to Mikey, shoot out with. He like grabs another vial and decides to throw a spell out, maybe.
Rolls.
Oh, there we go. That hits your armor class, right, Mikey?
Yes.
All right. Not like adept at casting magic. This is all just like obviously something that's been gifted to him in some way. But he takes the next vial off, the Ray of Frost vial, and just kind of opens it up in front of him and sprays out just like pure cold air right at Mikey. It stings, but it only hits you for 3 damage. It's not a ton of damage. He's still trying to figure out his the most effective way to use some of these spells and kind of what everything is.
Okay, good, because I completely I didn't read the code correctly. You only need to take damage from the enemy to do a reaction and deal cold damage to him. The teleport is use your bonus action from your next turn, which I could have just done.
I mean, you do have to take damage, like to be able to activate the teleport portion.
Oh.
Yeah, it like the damage activating activates the coat in general, and then you can use your reaction to deal damage and your bonus action from your next turn to teleport if you'd like to. It's kind of like a safety mechanism, I guess you would say. So you do have the option now. You took 3 damage if you want to.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna do 46 cold damage to him, which is probably gonna heal him.
It possibly could. Why don't you give me an Arcana check real quick?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm doing it.
All right, do it either way then. Go for it. Roll me 4d6, and then are you going to teleport? Because that'll free you from your bondage.
Yeah.
All right, I want you to do the 4d6 cold damage. Boom.
19.
19 damage. All right. I'm supposed to make a dex save for this.
Mm-hmm.
Does not pass with an 11. So he's going to take the full 19 damage. So you can also teleport yourself to anywhere you like in the room. You can also teleport yourself into the air because you can catch yourself flying.
Yes, I'm gonna back off a little bit, but go up. So I'm now in the dome, but higher.
All right, so you're in the dome but higher. I would like you to also give me an Arcana check after doing all those things.
Okay.
Oh,
25.
Need the advantage. All right, 25. You're gonna notice a bunch of stuff with this 25. The first thing you noticed before you took off and teleported out of your spot was the ice around your hooves. You don't have a lot of feeling in your hooves, anyways, because they're basically just one big toenail. But you do generally feel temperature. The ice around your feet never felt cold. I mean, you're in the heat of a battle, and you definitely feel cold from around you, but you never felt like your feet were freezing, even though they were encased in ice. That's the first thing you notice. The second thing you notice is when you blasted Yeti with ice, he looked like he took full damage. He didn't look like he healed. He didn't look like he resisted it at all. He looked like he took full ice damage when you hit him with the cold damage back at him.
I hope I don't heal him with the fire sword.
We don't even know anymore. Okay.
Also, while you are scanning the room, your red eye kind of like opens up and starts to glow a little bit itself as you're kind of accessing like your full devil blood with this nat 20 Arcana check, and you look at these ice walls around you and you can like see the magic that flows through it. And as you look at these ice walls, they shimmer for a second. And in that shimmer, you see flames. Instead of ice, you see fire. And then it kind of goes back to being ice, but you know, like what you saw under that ice is what looked like magical fire. Brings a lot of what's going on here into question. Is this stuff cold? Is it ice? Check has shed a lot of light on like the spells around you, because he obviously doesn't know what he's casting. But it looks like a lot of it looks like it's something and is something else.
Okay.
That it is Lawrence's turn.
Finally. All right. I'm gonna move my full movement 40 feet. I imagine I die. It's me doing a combat roll out of the way of that yeet. And I'm going to fire. I'm going to use Scorching Ray, but I'm going to change it into thunder damage. Let's see. Scorching Ray. Pew, pew, pew. 17, 20, 15.
All of those hit.
Oh boy. 8, 4, 5. 17.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big, hairy monkey with no armor on, and like just a bandolier of magical vials. He's got very little armor. So 17 damage. Ooh.
Thunder damage.
Thunder damage. Interesting. A pure luck check.
Oh boy, I'm so lucky.
Rolling at 20.
15.
15 doesn't get it done. I was gonna say you might have been able to blow up a vial on his.
Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Fuck, I forgot. I was gonna say I aimed for the vials. It's too late now.
All right, so you cast your spell. You've made your movement. Any kind of bonus actions?
I don't think so. No.
All right. To the top of the order. With that, he, after just getting blasted by a bunch of thunder blast out of Lawrence. I'm assuming you like shoot. Do you shoot him out of the book? Do you shoot him out of your gun?
I like open the book and say, I like whisper to Winston, or just say to Winston, all right, I need you to get in my gun right now instead of the book. And he just charges the bullets with thunder.
So, he reaches behind him and pulls a larger like container off his back, and then takes it above his head and smashes it down on the ground, and it sends out like reverberations through the entire it almost feels like there's a mini earthquake going on around you guys, as like there's this magic pounding into the ground. While this is happening, I need everyone to give me Constitution saving throws. Mikey in the air can like feel the entire air around you shaking.
I got a 23.
All right, you guys are all gonna pass. You guys are all able to kind of steady yourselves as the ground shakes. While this is happening, there are large ice spikes falling from the ceiling, and you see these ice spikes like just falling around you guys, and you guys are just able to kind of steady yourselves and step out of the way as they crack into the floor and split into the floor, and just kind of stand straight up. And on one of these spikes, less on it, more frozen into it, you guys see the form of Skunk Ape. He is frozen into this ice spike that's like stabbed into the ground. He's deep in there. It's a very big, thick ice spike, but he's frozen solid inside this spike.
Which exact one? Like, in relation to where I'm standing.
All right. Let's say that this one is the one that's closest to Lawrence.
That's me.
So, okay, Skunk Ape's in there trapped.
Yeah, he's like frozen solid in there. You can't like, it's almost like a foggy-ish kind of ice because it's so thick. So you can see his form. You can't see any kind of like state of affairs he's in. You just know he is in there, frozen solid.
I probably won't be able to break him out. Got it. Okay.
Brings us to you, Norman. You guys all dodged the layer action. You are free to move as you please, and you have a flaming sword.
Oh, I do love the flaming sword. How about a nat 20 flame blade swing?
Oh.
How about 24 fire damage?
Oh, that's a chunk of damage, boys. You cut into him. He is bloodied, distinctly bloodied. Would you like to describe your attack with your nat 20?
Yeah. So I notice Skunk Ape, and I'm like, I should probably free him. He could help us in the fight, but I don't know if he's going to be battle capable when we get him out of there. I'm going to have to do this myself. And I just look over at this giant hulking beast of a creature, and I'm like, well, I've got a sword made of fire. I can basically handle anything. And I just run forward and just slash into this motherfucker.
Dig it. With the nat 20 and the diagonal across the chest, roll me a luck check as well. Just a straight up 20. D20. Let's see if you get a nat 20.
Nat 20 again.
Oh my.
How about that? How about I get a crit, and then I get a crit on the luck check? How about that?
All right. So as you slash through, I imagine you're like watching the course of your blade go through him, and you see, like, as you're slashing through, that if you adjust just the slightest angle of your blade, you're gonna cut right through one of those vials on his chest. And you do that.
Turn around and not look at the explosion.
So you like slice through and like turn around and almost like like samurai ninja style, like sheath your blade as you've turned away, and roll me 4d6s.
That's not bad.
Fuck me. You watch, like all you other guys watch. Norman, you don't see it because you're turned around, so you just feel like this explosion of energy against your back. With all these nat 20s, you also kind of notice that while everything in here is supposed to be ice and looking cold and like frigid, the explosion you feel is not a cold explosion. It just feels like kind of like energy, maybe even a little bit warm. But 16 more damage. Anime explosion. You are turned around. You're silhouetted. There's this giant explosion of like multicolored, like aurora borealis, very like light blues, greens, and purples kind of explodes behind you as the guys see like your silhouette with the flaming sword. The smoke clears. The Yeti is standing there. Cricket! You guys see this kind of like smoking figure of the Yeti. He's got what looks like burnt patches on him. You now see like the blue cracking and veining that was coming from his eye that was running down his neck is running down his entire chest, kind of across his body. He looks like he's becoming more and more like magically unstable as he gets like blasted around and cut up and taking damage. He looks like his other eyes just kind of gone white now. He looks like he's in almost like a battle trance. It's like a kind of a thing that's like warriors can kind of get into, like a bloodlust, a battle trance kind of. And he just starts like kind of like raving, and all you kind of hear from him before he goes to attack is just like, I was never going to give in to his plans. Fuck Bigfoot and his secret meetings, his crazy ideas. The Sasquatch life can't change. We won't change. We've been here for too long. And he just like reaches out. Norman's right there in front of him, and he goes to swat at Norman with his fist.
I'm gonna use my reaction to cast Silvery Barbs and make him re-roll.
You son of a bitch! He rolled a 25, a 26. Wildly effective. He's bringing down his just giant Yeti paw to smash into the back of Norman's head as he's turned facing the other direction. It looks like it's just going to absolutely crush Norman until Lawrence just kind of like whispers out this like phrase you don't hear, and the Yeti almost like his ear peaks up and he turns a little bit, and it just slightly adjusts his trajectory, and he just totally whiffs over the top of Norman. And he then decides to just turn and swing straight back up at Norman with yet another fist.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. Oh, nothing you can do about that.
Oh, fuck. 25 and... Ooh.
Hold on, I gotta make a constitution save for the flame blade. I think with how much damage that dealt, I don't believe I passed, and my fire sword's gone.
All right, cool then. All right, so you guys were having this epic anime like fight, like right up in the front. You just did this crazy cut maneuver, turn around, sheath your sword. He explodes, tons of damage, comes out, there's smoke pouring from his mouth. He rants about Bigfoot and not giving in and not changing their way of life and not approving of his new ideas, and then swings down at you once, misses, and as you think you're all right, he swings back up with the same claw in just an absolute like torrent and catches you in the face and just hits you directly into the air. As you go flying, your blade goes flying out of your hand and dissipates in the magic, and you hit the ground with a big thud and kind of skitter away like 10 feet or so along the floor. Yes, owie indeed.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's free, but
It's free.
It came with a price.
No, the attack already happened. It was gonna happen, but I got a free disengage. It's all about perspective.
I'll skip you, I believe, in that round just because I was really enjoying the one-on-one anime fight. But you and Yeti share the same initiative, anyways. So we'll say you got to go first the first time. He got to go first the second time.
Hey, that's totally okay.
But it is your turn now. You just watched the sweet ass like cut and explosion, and then ridiculous vicious uppercut into Norman from above.
From above,
You
I'm watching from the high ropes.
Yep.
And,
As you're known to do in boss fights.
I know.
From the heights.
And speaking of, I just don't. He's famous. I mean, I almost got this guy's autograph. I mean, we can't take out the Yeti. I'm gonna grab onto one of those stalactites, and that's the answer, Brian. Tights go down.
Nice.
And I'm gonna give him a people's elbow. I'm gonna give him my signature move. I'm just gonna try to give him a non-lethal drop.
Oh, the people's elbow is your signature move?
I used it on the Chupacabra to knock him out. Same thing. I dropped him a stalactite.
I'm just asking.
Maybe it needs a different name, but it's a stalactite drop onto. Well, that's what it's called.
I will remind you. I believe that when you dropped him the Chupacabra, you didn't actually quite finish him off.
I know, but
because he still had a little bit too much health.
But that was before Norman got to fight before me.
This guy's fucked up. I don't think you're going to be able to drop him with just an elbow right now.
Well, everyone knows that the people's elbow wasn't The Rock's actual finisher move. His finishing move was rock bottom.
Who's The Rock? No, we're talking about my finishing move, the people's elbow.
Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson's still a college football player at this point. All right.
I actually was very curious if anyone actually knew what he would be up to during this time period.
Well, then
he's either a college football player or he's either
his dad was a wrestler, so he's probably still practicing some wrestling.
All right, he's probably wrestling.
He's probably
all right. So yeah, especially with your lack of physical prowess, I don't think your elbow is going to drop him at the moment.
Well, then I'm going to try to hit him in the back of the head with my hook chains, but not the hook part, the back end of it. Because I want to non-lethally get this guy.
I understand. Roll attack.
18.
18 hits. Roll damage.
10.
10. He is bloodied and battered. He gets hit in the back of the head with just the flat of the hook chains as you swing it from above. It's like there's a big momentum. It cracks his skull real hard. He like looks up at you and he's like, "Why would you? Ow, it hurts." But he's still standing. Not quite on death's door, but he is in the driveway getting out of the car. Lawrence, that brings us to you.
All right. Seeing as the Yeti's looking pretty weak, I'm going to make a lightning bolt, but I'm going to make it thunder. I'm going to aim at his feet, seeing that everyone's trying to take him alive, apparently.
It's just
I've given no indication I was trying to.
Okay. Well,
all right.
All right. That's quite the opposite. In fact.
All right, guys. This is quite exciting. You've rolled a 27 thunder damage on the Yeti.
Dex save 16.
It's a dex save 16. The Yeti has exactly 27 hit points left. So it is a dex save in front of the table. See, the Yeti has a +2 to dex, so a 14 or higher, and he doesn't die this round. So you get another set of legendary or layer actions, and then possibly see if he can survive Norman. Let's see if he gets the dex save. Yeti rolls a nat 1. All right. So you release this giant bolt of thunder, not lightning, out of your being. What's that look like?
It's still blue. It's instead of being like a lightning blue, it's closer to like a dark blue. It still comes out like a jagged thunderbolt and crashes into his feet and sends like ice and tile or whatever is left just exploding in front of him.
All right, so a Kamehameha bursts out of the werewolf.
It's coming out of my palm.
You blast him. You hit the feet right out front underneath of him. He almost does like a front flip, like when a football player gets like hit like right at his feet when he's like leaving the ground. They do that shit whip and they hit the ground real hard.
Yeah,
he does that, and as he hits the ground real hard, a couple more vials on his chest go off and blow him up into the air, and he kind of like ragdolls and falls back onto the ground, thoroughly fucked up. He's alive. You guys were the two of you were insistent on the non-lethal damage. As he dies, or doesn't die, as he passes out, and his concentration breaks on, or his inability to channel all these spells kind of breaks. You see them flicker and fade. You see that fire again behind the ice, as the ice kind of like disappears, and it's just like this kind of like ghostly fire kind of like slowly fading away. And that is where we're going to wrap it this week. Come back. We will piece together the end of this, the aftermath of this investigation. We'll see what happens with what you guys decide to do with transporting Yeti, or whether he's given back to his people for a trial with them.
I mean, Yeti said he wanted the person who did it to be beaten to death, so
he did say that.
Give the man what he wanted.
I said it's worse if we don't.
But we'll figure that out in front of a court and a judge.
Bigfoot judge of some
Next time,
kind.
of Law and Order SVU, where we go to the court instead. We're
gonna have fucking.
All right, I'm gonna try something.
You're okay. You don't need to do anything.
I'm doing it anyways.
I mean, you sound fine.
All right, guys. So 10 minutes from now, when Billiam is quit in and out 17 times,
all right, you're right.
No, do what you were gonna do.
I try.
I don't want to be someone who tells birds they can't fly, no matter how dirty they are.
Fly, you fools!
Yeah, all right. It didn't work. So never mind. I can hear myself echoing, so I had to turn it off.
A bird landed on the forklift yesterday, or not yesterday, earlier this week. I think it was on Monday. And I had to consider lighting the forklift on fire because the forklift had become dirtied.
You hate birds so much.
They're dirty creatures. We went to this will prove to you. We went to the Grange Fair on over the weekend with Cam and like both our families. It's just like your regular like farm fair, country fair. So they've got, this is like, I just want to tell you about some of the weird stuff they had there before I'll tell you what they didn't have. They had like they like judge vegetables, right? Like, sure. It's a farming thing. So we entered this big like barn area with a bunch of vegetables on plates, all of the award winners for each category of vegetable. It's the last day of a 2-week fair. All these vegetables are like molding and rotting at this point, but they're still out there and
On display.
So we walk through the rotting wastelands of Victory, all the way through there to find all the animals that had like placed and been in competitions. They had sheep, they had cows, they had goats, llamas, all sorts of shit, bunny rabbits, cows. We literally walked by like a wheelbarrow just full of cow shit. Like somebody had just done the rounds and just picked up all the cow shit.
Did you point at that and go, Cam? That was your diapers just a year ago.
Oh my god, so much shit. But you know what they didn't have? They didn't have any fucking chickens because birds are dirt.
Yeah, they are.
They had a display of diorama-esque chicken cages, like a cage a chicken would go in.
This is what it would look like if there was a chicken here.
Yeah, and then like a stuffed chicken. And like
I was gonna say that, but as a joke.
No, yeah, it looked like elementary school students had done this.
Oh my
essentially.
God. Have you ever seen the have you ever seen the dogs in China that they dress up like lions and they have them in the zoo and they're like, no, it's totally a lion.
No, totally a lion.
Totally a lion.
Like that bear wearing pants.
You know that's actually a bear.
I know it's actually a bear. It's just the flattest. It's just the bear with the flattest ass on the face of the planet. But yes, no chickens at all at the Grange Fair because they're dirty. They're birds of dirt.
No, I fucking hate birds. Fuck them.
Yeah, birds are dirty.
They're dinosaurs. So like, you know, they were subjugating us for so long. It's our turn. It's time for you to be scared of us.
I thought for a second you were going to hit me with, they're dinosaurs, they're older than us, they need our respect for a second.
Fuck that. I was like, wait. No, subjugate them as hard as you can, because that's what they did to us. Fuck, if you give them a chance, they'll turn into dinosaurs again and eat us all. Fuck them.
I love the idea of dinosaurs evolving down to birds.
That is what happened.
And then back up to dinosaurs.
Our purpose has been found. They all start blowing. The music plays. Dun, 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 dun.
You had your fucking millions of years. It's ours now. Yeah. It's mammals' time.
The dinosaurs like we're gonna chill out, and let them take a shot at it, and then they give us a while, and then they're like, all right, now let's go back to being dinos. These guys are fucking up the earth.
Yeah, it's like I choose teams sometimes. Like I'm on Team Human versus Team Animal most of the time. But I'm on Team Mammal versus Team Bird. Fuck Bird.
I say let the dinos win.
Lizards, you guys are cool. You guys can chill with us.
All right. How about Team Fish versus Team Bird?
I don't like the sea life either. Fuck fish.
I can agree with you there. I hate everything from the ocean.
Yeah, the ocean's a creepy place.
I agree. It's got its
I like turtles.
Oh, yeah, but then your turtle has something creepy that's trying to latch onto it and live on it and make it.
That's
so
not the turtle's fault.
I know, but it's just indicative.
I will protect
how
the turtle.
Horrible the ocean is.
Let's just get him a tortoise. It's a land turtle.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but I like the word turtle.
I like turtle.
Yeah.
Turtles. Barry Souderton. Barry, and a place in Pennsylvania.
That's right. Oh, Barry Souderton. That place is named after me, Pops.
But stuff.
I'm a construction worker that Norman turned into in like the 3rd episode.
His name's not Barry.
I thought it was for some reason.
I think it's Chuck.
Probably. Chuck sounds like a name I would pick for a construction worker.
I think it's Chuck. I literally was just editing that episode the other day. It's like I just gotta like put the music in it, and it's ready to go. But I want to say it's Chuck because we also do a joke about doing a one shot where we all just live in the life of Chuck. Once we get to 100 Patreon subscribers, you know.
Oh, we have to do the Chuck one shot?
Yeah. The Chuck shot.
Just fire a good old Chuck shot.
That name. Pretty good name. I like that name.
Barry Souderton.
Yeah, I like it.
It sounds like a character from the Breaking Bad universe.
It does. He's a guy who's innocent but gets caught up in it, and he dies in a very fucked up way.
Look, I was just trying to make some money to help myself.
Weird moment to come back to.
Yep.
It was out of grapefruit.
Barry Souderton is a character in the Breaking Bad universe.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Ah.
Just like William Zane appears to be a character. He's either a street magician who aspires to be a Vegas headlining magician, or he is a magical character in the DC universe.
And he grows up to become the Phantom.
He was.
And marry Rose from the Titanic.
Is he the guy from Borderlands named Zane?
No, William Zane was a very successful Billy Zane impersonator until Billy Zane went bald, and Billiam refused to shave his head.
I don't know who the person
because his hair is just so beautiful. I couldn't bear to take it off his head.
I also don't know if that's something you just made up or not.
I'm at this point convinced it is, but it was so perfect. I'm wavering on that.
I don't even know if Billy Zane's a real famous person.
It really is. He's the Phantom. You know, that famous superhero comic movie that we all saw when we were younger, The Phantom. The guy in the purple jumpsuit. He's got to find the skulls, the crystal skulls. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
We simply must keep moving.
Oh, okay. He looks great on a white horse.
We can't allow Billy Zane and the Phantom to deter us this much further. Before the AI overlords get upset at our recording,
especially
again.
because